Range is something I see a lot of questions about. I think a lot of times your range is not as big as you'd like because of a couple things. It can either be a technical issue or it can be a not using it enough issue, meaning like you're not ever using your high range and you're not using it in the right way. And so it feels like you can't sing high or you can't gain those notes because you only try to sing high once in a while, those kind of things. So first let's talk about how to gain higher notes, how to sing higher notes, and then we'll talk about low notes after that. So when you sing high notes or higher notes than what you're used to, what's actually happening with your vocal folds is that they have to stretch, they have to get skinnier, and they vibrate quicker to make a higher frequency, to make a higher sound. And so your vocal folds are actually changing shape from what you might be using with your speaking voice, from what you might be singing if you're singing a little bit lower in your range a lot of the time. They're changing shape, they're stretching, they're getting thinner, they're vibrating faster, and all of those things are movement, coordination, getting used to kind of making that sound. Another aspect of it is what our mouth is doing and what vowels we're singing. So coordination as one aspect, the other aspect is kind of what is happening with our mouth, what is happening with our vowels. Sound waves have to bounce off something hard in order to resonate, to sound nice and beautiful, to sound loud, and for our ear to kind of pick it up, right? Sound waves have to bounce off something hard and then they come back and our ears pick it up. So if you're singing and your sound waves that are coming out from those vibrations from your vocal folds, if those are coming out and you're letting them get muffled up in your tongue, in your lips, in your cheeks, in all of your soft tissue here, in the nose, any of this soft tissue, because you're singing with a tiny closed off mouth, it can be really hard to resonate. You're going to have a lot more pressure. You're going to be pushing a lot harder, and it's going to feel tougher to hit those high notes. So step one is a nice open mouth. We want to think of the sound hitting either the hard palate, or those sound waves hitting the hard palate, or hitting the back of your teeth, or bouncing off the cheekbones. We want a hard surface for those sound waves to literally bounce off of and resonate off of. The second part of that is the coordination aspect that we were talking about, meaning that we need to use our voice a lot, use it in that way a lot to kind of gain that coordination, and we want to do it in a healthy way that's not going to hurt the voice. So really slowly, starting baby steps, every week you're going to add a little bit more into your range. So if you're only practicing your high notes once a week, it's going to help a little bit, but it's not going to help as much as practicing your high notes every single day, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, going higher, taking those baby steps, gaining that coordination, teaching the vocal folds how to stretch and how to make that movement that they need to in order to make those higher notes. So here's what you're going to practice. You're going to watch yourself in a mirror, make sure that you have a nice relaxed open mouth. Every week you're going to go up a little higher. So I'm going to give you this exercise. We're going to start on an E, go to a yaw, and go back to an E. And even though we're singing on an E vowel, we don't want to close off the mouth. So instead of going E and closing off, we're going to be thinking E. See how my tongue is pointed to the bottom teeth? E, and that's going to keep my tongue from balling up in the back and closing off our sound. So nice big open E, and then we're going to go to a yaw, which is nice and open, easy vowel to sing on, and back to an E. So it's going to sound like this. E, I, and then we're going to go a little higher every single day. E, I, E, see how I'm continuously going up by step, kind of going a little bit higher and higher every time? That's going to be your goal. It might start to feel hard the higher that you go. And if it's starting to feel pinched, if everything is starting to feel, if you're starting to feel fatigue, make sure you take it slow. Make sure you're really hydrated. Make sure you are keeping that nice, relaxed, open space. And if it feels like it's too high, keep trying a little bit lower than that, and then the next day come back and try it a little bit higher. But make sure you're really warming up all the way. Now, low notes can be tricky because your vocal folds can only shrink down so much physically. They have a limit to how low they can realistically sing based off of your vocal fold shape, based off of how your vocal folds were created. So if you're trying to sing super, 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 super low and it's not feeling like it's working, it could potentially just be that your voice can't go down that low really physically. There's like tips and tricks that you can kind of use to fake it, or there is a potential to stretch your range lower, but for the most part, it's not going to go extremely low if your voice is not made to do that. If you're struggling with your low notes, make sure that you're using a true speaking voice and that you're not adding in way too much extra air, because that extra air is going to make it difficult to have a full low sound. So try this on a word that you're used to speaking. I like the word no or hey. Both of those words are kind of like words that we say all the time. Let's try on the word no. We're just going to go no, 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 no. You can see I'm really speaking that. I'm not trying to make it sound singy or beautiful or anything like that. I'm just kind of saying it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's a really good warm up to really stretch your lower range and making sure that you're doing it in a really spoken voice.